Good day to you all. I was very lucky a week or two ago and I went to a Total War Warhammer 2 press event in a putrid sewage plant in London. In this video I've got a lovely Dark Elves quest battle for you, simply called Destroyer. I've also got some rather exciting news, Skaven confirmed, and I've also got a quest battle with the Skaven linked at the end of this video. So sit tight and enjoy the evil pointy elves. Let's start with the units. So we've got some Black Ark Corsairs, Dual Sword Infantry, and some Blackguard of Nagarond Halberd Infantry. Pretty much just some staple units there. Over here we've got some Witch Elves, which are Dual Dagger Infantry. Presumably they're higher damage but lower HP or armour. Some Dark Riders, which are just horse cavalry with repeater crossbows, quite useful for skirmishing the enemy. Now there does seem to be a lot of these Dark Shards, which are crossbowmen with really tall tower shields. So I imagine they're quite tanky. Harganeth Executioners, some Greatsword Infantry, probably useful for taking out monstrous stuff. More Corsairs here, and a couple of Halberds. Basically, you know, your staple kind of units. Some Cold One Knights, so the Lizardmen's Cold Ones with some Dark Elves on. Interesting, with lances. Up here, it looks like Witch Elves, but they're Harpies, so they've got wings. Basically like the bats from the Vampire Counts. And Malekith, he's our legendary lord on his dragon. And the pièce de résistance, the War Hydra, which spits fire.
Herds of Acer clog the path to Thor's petty shrine. Sweep them aside, my kin. Let the king approach the god and have the god kneel. Send forth the vanguard. Have them prepare my way. Thor will deign to bless my sword. He will marvel at my creation. Or I will destroy all of his.
So as Malekith said in that little cutscene, send the vanguard forward. So they're straight in. And I didn't realise this at first, but there's no setup phase in this quest battle. You just have to literally baller straight forward to support your vanguard. Otherwise they're going to get obliterated by the High Elves. So I'm feeling a little bit rushed. Obviously I haven't played Total War in a little while. Trying to bring my units forward as best I can. Trying to remember my micro, but it's probably not really going to shine in this video as it didn't in the Skaven one either. Essentially, I just need to get forward and then I can see what I'm dealing with, because you've got a long way to run before you actually get involved with the enemy here, and the High Elves are already carving up the little Vanguard force that's meant to be softening them up. Now, you can't control that Vanguard. It's just an AI kind of army that's assisting you in this quest battle. Now, quest battles are usually, you know, to unlock a piece of armor or a new ability or an item for the hero. So these will be story-driven narrative missions. The Cold Ones I'm trying to get on a bit of a flank, but the High Elf is sending his cavalry to me. So, you know what? I'm going to send him in some kind of deadly Rohirrim charge. But do raptors beat horses? It looks like they do, because the horses are turning and fleeing. It's quite a large-scale battle and there's a lot going on, so I don't really have much time to just sit here and watch these raptors eat the horses. I need to get my army up, I need to get them involved, because, quite frankly, there's a lot of High Elves up there that need dealing with, because, well, they're heathens. Malekith is a true king, apparently, and he wants to kill everyone. I think that's the gist of how he feels about everything. So we've got Witch Elves, I've got my Executioners, loads of archers at the back here. I need to move them right forward so they actually start doing some stuff. And I'm trying to keep at least one great sword unit relatively close to them, just in case any kind of you know, flank occurs or some kind of magic spell. I don't really know what the High Elves have got in store for me. So these Harpies, going to send them in on, hopefully if I can find some archers around the back. Yes, I found them, there we go. And Malekith's got a lovely breath attack, which I wanted to try and use on the main bulk of this force here. Although I think I was targeting my own units there, which might be why, because that's my allies, and yeah, I'm trying to target the allies there. Couldn't work out how to do it, but I think I get it in the end. It's basically you know, a damaging breath spell from the dragon. But also, if he gets caught in melee, he cannot use that spell, it would seem. Now, Malekith can also cast spells off the back of the dragon, but I was so flabbergasted with what was going on, I didn't really have much of a chance to use many of his abilities. I was really kind of just quite interested in this Hydra, because it's such a gorgeous model. And again, that's got a flame breath, which unfortunately can't be used if you're in melee. This battle played out quite like you know, a traditional one with the Empire. You've just got your basic bog standard kind of melee units, archery units. I've got a lord with levitating horse powers fighting another lord there. Malekith needs to get stuck in, I think. Start dealing some devious damage. And I think on the mini-map, I can see there might even be some units coming in off the flank. I think that maybe that happens later. But basically, I just got stuck in. And you can see at the very top of the screen, there's a purple bar that's slowly filling up. Now that bar is the unique army ability. Ah, here we go. Here's the flanks coming in now. So I've just noticed that. My cavalry's luckily there to kind of take the shock absorption of that, but I need to position my archers around to deal with them. So as I was saying, the purple bar along the top is the army ability for the Dark Elves. And the more units that they murder in a battle, the faster that bar charges. And when it charges, they get kind of just like an army-wide buff. I don't know specifically what that buff is. I can only assume, you know, more damage or slightly tankier or whatever it is. There's some kind of horrible phoenix beast coming in. Well, he looks quite pretty, but I'm sure the Dark Elves think he's horrible. And I think he beelines straight for Malekith. So I think we're going to zoom in and see some hot dragon on phoenix action in a minute. But not before I give these archers a hot roasting with my Hydra. If I could work out how to do it, because it seems like it can be a little bit finicky sometimes. I don't know whether it is because I was too close, or maybe they've just got a chance to disobey my orders. I don't know. Here we go. I think this gets them, and engage. That's hot fire, and that's done a lot of damage to that. That's basically halved the HP of a archery unit in one volley, which I think is quite impressive. So he's just going to stomp over there and gobble down those archers. Malekith's fighting that. Now you can see this purple ability over all my units. That's the army ability coming into full effect there. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what the stat bonuses is from that ability, but all I know is that it's good and my army benefits from it. Maybe it means that they won't break. Now interesting, my Cold One Riders have got the same frenzy ability. So instead of their morale breaking, they go into a frenzy, much like the Lizardmen. So that's kind of a cool thing that the Dark Elves have almost borrowed from the Lizardmen army there, by the fact that they've got Raptor Riders. I'm trying to pull my archers back, because some of them are a bit tied up in melee there. The Hydra, I noticed him, he was almost walking off the whole map, because he was chasing down some archers, but I've decided to turn him around, get him back into the fight. Malekith, I think there's some really lovely animations, and very occasionally I think you get some kind of like synced up animations with these kind of flying units, and obviously some of the larger kind of like the Abomination, the Hellpit Abomination and the Stegodon. I think occasionally there are kind of synced style animations for the kills. I'm not sure who cast that spell, but I think that was the Phoenix cast some kind of whirlwind spell, but it didn't seem to do too much to me. As you can see from the top, the battle's still quite even in terms of like who's winning, but I do believe it's tipping more towards my side. But I think that's mainly due to the reinforcement of the High Elves from the flank. But they're all tied up, and I'm dealing with them quite nicely. I've got some units that are just kind of resting there, but they need to get stuck in. I need to start taking out these archers as well at the top that are now just firing volleys down onto my own archers. A lot of the High Elves units are very low HP though, so they're going to start breaking. I think I might be able to do another acid attack. Yeah, there we go. Malekith's doing a lovely dragony acid breath attack, which is delightful. I think ultimately there isn't too much to say about the Dark Elves. You know, they are a relatively standard kind of army. Obviously, they've got this murderous kind of blood rage or whatever it is that charges up, and they have got some lovely centerpiece units like the Hydra, like Malekith's dragon, and obviously their spells as well. But in terms of like how you actually play the army, I think you'd basically play them as if you were playing Empire or Bretonnians. You know, infantry versus soft targets, pikes and stuff versus cavalry, and then archers just obliterating everything. Now this isn't a whole army roster. There could very well be some really unique units that I haven't seen yet, that weren't involved in this quest battle. But generally I feel like they're, you know, something that somebody who was more familiar with, you know, just a standard kind of Total War, maybe they'd quite like them, because they've got, you know, all the staple units and then lots of lovely magic As you see that little red X that came up over the flamethrower there on the Hydra, that was because he was momentarily tied up in melee. As I'm chasing down these guys, I'm going to try and blast them with some fire. There we go, look at that. So that damages, I believe, all the units it hits, not just the unit that it targets. So if they're clumped up, you could do a lot of damage there. And I've basically broken them, and that's the end of the battle. So a pretty easy steamroll there. GG. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it for you. There is a Skaven quest battle, which you might enjoy watching, and also an interview with Ian Roxburgh, the game director. So check those out, and if you like this video, leave me a like, drop me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!